Hello everyone and welcome to Meyer Studio Sketch Club. My name is Izzy, next to me is my dad Jason, and just behind us is my mom Cindy. Tonight we will do 4 5-minute sketches. Just be loose and have fun with it. Before sketching gets started, my dad will take a few minutes to talk about his approach before sketching starts at 7. If you are happy with how your sketches turned out, feel free to leave them in the comments.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another week of Sketch Club. Tonight we're going to do 20 minutes and we do 4, 5. So 5 minutes is not very long to paint. So before we get started, let's jump over to the iPad and I'll show you the approach I'm going to take. Again, you're welcome to do this however you want it. You don't have to show anybody, but if you are happy with how it turned out, please do share it. All right. So this is going to be the first image tonight. And what you're going to see me set up is I am going to give a little room. That's a little too large. Let's see. Give a little room to walk back to the barn, but I'm going to set the barn up. And then I'm going to set up these dark trees behind it. Right, and then we've got the dark door down there, so this light will be surrounded by these darks, as will this. And then I'm going to focus on a little opening here, and I'm going to create a little opening there too. So we'll have a nice run through there. Again, it's just 5 minutes, so we're not going to get very far on these, or at least I didn't. Maybe you work a bit faster than I do. Let's see what else we got tonight. So that'll be our first one. Our second one, we're going to do a tree. Tree from the lake. And what I'm going to grab onto here, it seems like a lot, but see that shadow wobbly? Says it's in water. We want to grab onto that. Oh my gosh. Izzy. Izzy's still in the show here. Hi, Lori. Good job, Iz. I know, she's doing a good introduction, huh? She has a great smile. Dang. Then our tree we're going to extend up. Now, I'm not going to worry about all the little bitty branches, but I'm going to get the big ones started and then go back for the little ones. And then getting the little mountain and everything back here with the trees. That's just going to finish everything up. So that'll be number 2. And then for number 3... Are we doing on time? We still got a couple of minutes. Oh, look, an artist in the studio. An artist in the wild, in the natural environment. So we've got a couple circles set up like that, on top of a head, sitting on a neck, right? And then the arms going down with our painting. Right, and shadow over here. So that's basically what I'll be going through there. And then we will, do I have time to do shadows? I think I get a little bit of that shadowing done, and that really will help spell this one out. Okay, so a little variety tonight. And for their last one, how about a little rose? Now, this is impossible to ask you to do this in 5 minutes, but what are the big shapes we can go after? Remember, we could treat this like a cup. So the shadow is going to be here. And then the light hits here. And then this is a cast shadow, but all that light's hitting there before we're turned into shadow again. Right? And then all that is light. Then we can come back to the individual petals and turn them if we want. But let's look for the big stuff first. The big stuff first. Okay, so let's see what we have going on here. I was rushing through all the intro. Looks like Shakti's here. Hi, Shakti. Grandma's here. Missed Izzy's intro. Oh. Sorry, we got started on the wrong page, and so we had to switch. My bad. But it'll be up there if you want to come back later and see it. It's worth coming back for.
Yes.
She did a great job.
All right, you guys ready to sketch? All right, we got a lot of fun tonight, so let's get the video started and get going. So this barn is right across the street from us, basically where we live, is no longer there. They moved it, so they're saving it as historical, but they're developing all that area right now. So I was extra glad I had this photo. So what I'm doing right here is just basically figuring a big box there and how this is going to work out. And with the vine charcoal, again, it's very forgiving. Trying to get a little bit bigger on the near side and smaller on the far side. Basic perspective. Okay. Izzy and her classmate we've just been studying boxes in space. So she should be able to use what we've been studying in real life. In real life. Sure, it's not the art classes she would have got if she was in school, but it's still pretty cool that she gets art lessons, if you ask me. Okay, so ultimately everything's just a light dark pattern or a light gray dark pattern. But we want people to invent things from those patterns, right? But ultimately it's about dynamic light dark patterns. So leaving a little room for a light to go through there, so that will extend from the side of our barn. The roof of our barn will be the light, and that'll run through, and then we'll have a light we can see through on the other side as well. And so instead of just seeing the barn roof and the barn side there as a light pattern, we can extend that light into that pattern into the trees. So it's gonna seem like more. Feel like more, be more satisfying. And of course we want to show that this is on plenty of acreage. Lots of land around here. Usually don't need a barn like that for condominiums, so we want to get in the right environment. Nice, Iz. Again, we're not after perfection, just more kind of keep it in shape like you'd go for a walk or something. Not trying to impress anybody.
First drawing in my hands, like covered in charcoal.
Ah, Susan's on.
Hey, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
There you go.
Kept recycling the timer.
Huh?
So
Oh.
it's beginning.
Oh, sorry. Oh, maybe you came on a little late and it was, I don't know. I barely got on here myself tonight, so I probably shouldn't be giving any advice.
He struggled to find the right page on
I
his
do.
journey.
You make me so proud. Make me so proud.
He says that she tries to find the right way to get her charcoal off of her hand.
Yep, that's part of it. Get a little bit dirty. Nothing wrong with getting a little dirty. Helps ground you. Helps ground you. So these are going to end up being little trees back there for that negative shapes and those lights. And so we can create our negative light pattern back through there. So again, not worrying about being too fantastic or anything, just trying to get the general ideas in, and then we'll come back and refine if we have more time. So the shadow on the ground will complete that and kind of lock in those light shapes back there. Oh, Grandma even got here early so that she wouldn't miss your introduction. I'm sorry, I'll try to get better.
You were having technical difficulties.
I'll try to get better.
He failed the mission.
Oh, that looks like our first 5 minutes. That looks like our first 5 minutes. So
Bye.
next,
Bye, barn.
we'll do our tree. I love trees. And you see how that arches over, and then you got the mountain and the trees in the background? And that mountain is smaller than the tree trunk. See that? So that gives us distance, like massive, massive distance. But these, to me, these things are so fun to draw, like octopus or something. Is mini octopus octopi? Or is it?
How would I know?
What's a herd of octopus? Oh, Susan would know that probably.
Oc-
Oh.
Octopus is in a group.
What's that?
You said what's octopus? Yeah, forget.
I said a herd of octopus because everybody knows they travel in herds, right?
Okay.
That's a joke. That's a joke. I'm pretty sure they're solitary creatures, but I could be wrong.
I'm sure Susan was cringing.
Yeah. Feel free to correct us. I like Susan's lesson. We learned about what
He likes being corrected.
great apes and monkeys. The division between great apes and monkeys in our last class.
Yeah.
Octopi or octopuses. Oh, either one. Or either one. Cool.
We were both
We're both
correct.
right.
Everybody gets a cookie.
Bam.
Woohoo!
I want the biggest one.
So instead of just coming straight out and working along the edges of the branches, do you see how I kind of feel my way sometimes across, back and forth, especially in the back? Yeah, and so you get more of a solid feel sooner. Get sketching. Get sketching. Need a snack break from your 20-minute sketch club. Oh, brutal, man, brutal.
Well, after I drank your vinegar, it tastes nasty in my mouth.
That face, I wish we would have been recording.
Maybe you shouldn't just grab people's water and drink it. I
It's
mean-
you. You barely drink anything other than that, but that's the second time this week.
Again, for those of you, at least for those of you in my class, I encourage you to, this is about looking to see the big thing really quickly, right? So we're not necessarily looking for details or even overall accuracy. We're just training our eyes to see what's the big things going on and how can I portray that, right? Because we could easily get stuck for 5 minutes or 5 hours drawing this tree here, but we've only got 5 minutes. Only got 5 minutes. And then that way we can investigate our idea quickly and see, hey, is this worth taking any further? Should we get the paints out? Should we do some more sketching, or should we move on to a different location? Move on to a different location.
Mr. Tom Dawson.
Tom, good to see you, my friend.
Hi, Tom.
Izzy's definitely developed just sketching over these last few weeks.
Oh,
How many weeks have we had sketch club now?
Like
Is it
4 or
2
5.
months, 3 months?
is it time for an
Well-
anniversary cake yet?
I know we started before I went into theater company, and that was a month ago. So
Okay.
it's been a little over a month.
Okay. All right. Well, we're getting our legs under us.
But now you gotta learn how to walk.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Tom says hi, everybody. Not sure if he's saying hi to you guys or if he's just decided I was one of the girls too. So either way, I'm good with it. Hi, welcome.
Oh, wow.
Shouldn't you be drawing?
I
You should just
drew
get
my
your own
little.
tree.
Oh,
So-
5 minutes is too much for you?
Yes. Takes a certain amount. And I looked like I drew coral. It
Coral?
looks somewhat close.
No, you're actually doing very good, baby.
I
You're
like-
controlling the material much better.
I like the barn better.
You like the barn better? Okay. Well, let's see how you do with the wild creature in their environment. And the next one. Wow. All right, how'd you guys do on that one? That seemed like another quick 5 minutes.
What's next?
The tree. So the next, we're gonna see enough in nature. How about some? Let's go deep in the forest for some more wildlife. There we go. Some wildlife in their natural habitat.
Hat, down, father, circle. That looks like a top hat.
Yeah, remember, be loose at first and just try to kind of find it rather than saying, hey, it's here. I was thinking earlier, you know, when I started, a lot of the schools in LA, they were training animators. And so it was animation illustrators. And then occasionally I would see an artist. And the artist's drawings, or the painters, I should say, I'd see a painter. And their drawings always looked a little funky and they started a little rough. But after a while, they had this really cool image, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And it's just painters don't think in terms of line, where animators and sometimes illustrators do. So they think in terms of mass, so it takes them a little longer to build up things, and looks a little more abstract. So if any of you guys are new and thinking, wow, this is kind of weird, I tend to think in terms of mass rather than in terms of line. And so that's probably the difference there.
Look at
And you can think in terms of both. You can learn both. Hey,
mine looks pretty decent.
looks pretty good.
At first, it looked like the Monopoly Man.
Yeah, it's the Monopoly Man with his cane collecting his money from the bank. But again, treat this more as as exploring, finding the shapes and finding the forms. So what's the difference between mass and line? Line is literally just taking the line and drawing around, not necessarily contour, but most people think of line and contour to start with. But I'm thinking as like a dark shape rather than a line, right? So I'm looking for the shape of that shadow on the side of the hat there. And then I'm gonna eventually group that all into a dark rather than just making a line around it. So I'm still trying to see proportions here. I know at some point I come back and put the shadow there. I was hoping I was going to do it right then. But that's what that means. Let's see. Oops. So I just broke my white. It was in a nice little wooden holder, and I smacked it on the table, picking it up, and now I've got a little thing. So I just wiped out some of those lines, and so that kind of created a mass. And then here's the mass of the top of the hat. and then the line, and that's what mass means rather than line. And I may use like several lines kind of cross hatching sometimes. Here's the shadow. So you see I'm trying to make that into more of a shape than a single line. What is going on, girls?
I'm drawing.
What are you losing it at back there, Mom?
Grandma is taunting me.
Oh.
Nope, she's side taunting me.
Side taunting you, okay. I'm not sure if we need Susan or not, but was it my imagination or did we hear some mouse or something behind us?
I know, there was something.
Oh, that makes me feel great. Keeps feet off floor. Ugh.
If Susan can feed a Komodo dragon, you can stand a little mouse running through the house.
I can't.
It's cold outside. They gotta warm up.
It was in Mom's shoe. I don't want to like put my foot in one and just hear the squish.
I don't know, maybe if you kept your feet out of Mom's shoes, it wouldn't happen.
Or a shoe.
Like, Susan thinks you're hilarious. She thinks you're so funny.
She thinks I'm funny because I don't like little creatures running up my leg.
You have a friend that popped on, Jason.
Oh, who's that?
Janice Lennox Grogan.
Oh, Janice. Hey, Janice. How's everything? All right, so just 5 minutes of sketch, so not very much time. I think we're near the end of this one. And we're doing one more for the night. So let's put this one to rest. And then tonight, let's finish up with a rose. Again, roses are quite complicated to draw, so look at those big shapes. And we're not thinking about getting anything finished detailed in there. We're just exploring the big structure here. All right, so I'm thinking about the angle that that's sitting at. How far over to the far side versus the near side. So you see, it may not even make any sense to you right now. I'm just kind of feeling it out. And that vine charcoal, we can just rub that, look at that, just rub that right out. So we don't have to worry. It gives us a lot of freedom. Then there's that shadow we talked about from the cup. And then the light's going to be on the other side, caught by some of the shadow. How's your rose coming? Paint a rose, baby.
Great.
Paint a rose.
Done.
Come on. Izzy's getting so much better and she doesn't even know it. Doesn't even know it. Okay, so for 5 minutes you're not going to be able to get much detail, but when you do something, try to do it a little bit characteristic. I go from big general shapes and placements to getting more and more specific. I try not to get too specific too early. Work from big to small, big to small. Another thing you'll notice is my wrist doesn't really move. Well, I'm not drawing my wrist, but I'm moving from my shoulder. And that makes it easier to do straight lines. I can move all the way across or all the way down. It takes a little getting used to, but it's a better way to draw and paint if you're doing anything of size anyway. Creating those bigger movements. So the strongest light, I want to be right in there towards the center of the flower, right, to draw us in, along with the strongest dark right there on the other side. And then if I was developing this, I would get not quite so light and not quite so dark as I worked out. And then we'd be drawn to that greatest contrast right there in the center. You do good, good.
Meh.
No, I know you don't think it looks very good, but that's the idea. That's the idea. It's it's quite difficult sometimes working with these ideas of light and shadow. And as we start doing it, sometimes the shapes aren't great or we don't think it looks so good. But you got to realize you're taking a big mental jump there when you're doing that. You're seeing differently. So you'll get better with practice. Get better with practice. Besides, late on a Sunday night, take it easy on yourself. Take it easy. Don't need to start the week beating yourself up. Just for fun.
The week is on Monday.
The week is on Monday. Is this not Sunday night? I'm saying, you know, be cool on Sunday night before the start of the week Monday.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just saying you should always be cool, yo.
It's called a joke.
Well, I was dead serious. All right, how'd you guys do on this one? This was a tough one, the rows there. We got a little under a minute to go on this one. In and out. So if anybody's finding us for the first time, we're here 3 times a week, Sunday nights, 6:55 Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. Same time, 6:55 Pacific Standard Time. I'll do a little 5-minute intro, and then at 7 o'clock we'll have 20 minutes of sketching. Sunday nights are 4 or 5 minutes. Tuesdays are 2 10s. Usually we take 2 of the images that we started tonight and continue on them for 10 minutes. And then Thursday will be 120. So if you enjoyed it, I hope you'll stop back in and check it out. If you're interested in painting, did we do a demo earlier today on Meyer Studio?
No, it was connecting up the easel.
But when did we do the Meyer Studio? Was that yesterday?
Yeah, you did quick tips this morning.
That's right. So we got a quick tips on Meyer Studio this morning. Dynamic shapes. And we start our next class tomorrow morning. So for you, those of you in class, we will see you there. And any of you guys that are new, we hope to see you back here Tuesday.
You gonna do a rewind?
I'm gonna do a rewind. I guess so. Let's rewind. Or let's go forward real quick and then we'll rewind. Review. So we start with the barn. Try to get the rectangle, and then I tried to set up my light dark pattern so that it was interesting and it ran between the objects, right? So that light pattern is going to run through the trees, on the roof, to the side of the barn, and back to the trees again, right? So we've got an interesting idea running through objects. Our next one, we're going to have the tree in the lake, overlooking the mountains and the trees in the background. Oh man, were those not the best waves you've ever seen? It's not a big deal. This isn't, you know, it's 5 minutes. What can you hope for? What can you hope for? And then the animal in the wild. What are you doing over there? Did you hurt yourself drawing?
I leaned back and Mom's corner of the computer is right there.
So, like, if you look carefully, that arm's about 17 feet long. You're not going to get it all right, but now all you got to do is move it over. Oh, that's too long. So you move it. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. And finally, the rows. And we got to look past all that detail to see the general overall. Okay? So that'll wrap it up for tonight. Again, if you liked with what you came out with, please share it in the comments. We'd love to see it. And then we'll see the rest of you guys in the morning. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Good night.